He's now onto those players. Ram control earned and theirs, and out of sight is next for the taking. John QT, hell of a task. He's got to anchor this one. He's going to be tested momentarily. Pushed up onto the corner. Shots are landing. To have that 1v1. It's clever positioning, but now it's about the timing. Swinging around, Jogamo holding his ground. A tap as well. Wide! And had some necessary defense. A bit more firepower. The spikes drop down into the middle of nowhere. Flash and a TP, full committal by Jogamo, but to occur. Zekken was opening himself up wide there, but a beautiful one to win out. One's going to be tagging and taking a couple of the bullets here. G2 just trying to force and fight their way out of this tricky spot. Tap, looking for the second wave of things here. Senna going to bite that bullet! And speaking of biting it down, Zekken, he's offloaded it into him, leaving it to the 1v1 though. Spike out into the open. He's onto the side, still heaven needs to be regained, and it's weaker weaponry. More util where that came from as well. Coverage on every single avenue.
Well, Zekken sees everybody and John has his ult. They need to rely on Jorg finding a good timing through the pit in mid, and Zelsus has got the watch on.
Decade, he's being watched for, and Jogamo somehow wins that fight. This is very much all in. It's a back-breaking round for either of these teams. Rolling Thunder this time committed over to the left side of the site. A lot of players going to be collected, stunned up in the process. Second in and through towards the back. Masterful shot, returning with the maybe just off the TP. Sound cue, something being heard off the back of it. Still
15 seconds.
They're swiveling around all over the place here, and time is running short. Shy of the mark still, wrapping around. Bullets are nailing, and head's not quite popped, but play.
That's a spot that you could argue is too high risk, high reward to play on an anti-eco.
I know the timings. Barely hanging on, the stun and the salvos might do the job, but it's a pick your poison situation. He's out into the open. He's honestly lucky to be grounded just that. Still shut down. Send now up to 6. Missed it. Narrate finds it. Salvos pushing them back in a way. They've still got the pull as well to play this one to the early hours of this. Narrate sticking half onto the defuse already. These are the Wingon's board, and it is perfection.
30 seconds
Players,
though,
look their way up forwards. The gun might just give away the plot. Bang, takes the timing and takes their heads away. Certainly so. Don't want to give up the gun, though, as well.
It was actually quite a nice strat from Sen in this round as well. They send, as you were talking about, Zekken alone through B main. And there's John getting the kill.
He's trying to be brave, and you have to be at this point. It's 11-3, but Sentinels are ones in full control of the situation.
Cleared as well.
Half clearance!
Should have been.
Punishing.
Celsius.
Brought down at the end of the day. G2 finding these players and finding a couple of heads for their trill. Armageddon. Forced to respect it. TP forward. Zekken cuts up the angles, cuts up the gap, and a perfect flash at that.
So good.
Spam gives him that timing, and Sentinels, they can feel it. It's blood on the wall. The Sentinels players, especially with Zekken this low, flash through and around, cuts up to the corner, Narrate not expecting it, still off to the side. The players are lining themselves up now, ready for the taking. It's a 2v2 at that, slipping around.
Into somebody and he's thrown their handbag all over the floor. Oh. He wasn't expecting to see someone.
I respect the play, I really do, at that. Hold on. Jogamo's gone down. Where was he going? He was all the way into this. No one stepping over the line, but Jonah goes up and over the top of it because time was really getting quite short. Zelsus doing his job and doing it well. Full defense across the board, making sure that picked to pieces. Tapestry just unraveling before our eyes and leaves it just to the 3 of them. Valiant has to go re-exploring, but danger spot up against Stingers, and yet you're still opting in to the close quarters fight as well. Just ripping them to shreds! It's relentless. They're not stepping back. Not giving G just to make it awkward, just to make it tricky. Salvos, and again, pushed forwards. It's out of the frying pan into the fire. And Trem will attempt to return it. Does drop Zekken.
Bang
Flash,
is very
not
alone.
quite dodge. Bang is super alone right now. Sidestep. So want to try and take this fight. Looks likely they're going to be using util on top of it and leave. He's just cycling through the weaponry.
Yeah.
He's just using the salvos here. To star, recall. John lucky to cross and lucky to keep his life intact. There's bullets flying down on top of him. Knife, oh, not quite. That's going to be the steel guard.
That's going to help.
Backside, back halls. They know that there's going to be players. Corral pushed up into the corner. Leaf's going to be spotting at least a few of them. And, oh no, revealed and spammed down. Box, not a sufficient defense. And the rifles, as we said, happy to play into it here for Sentinels. Made forwards, pressing the advantage that potentially they've got, but it is chaos all across the site. And Jogamo Make sure to step into that smoke.
Fight on the flank.
Yeah, and this is going to be down with these pistols in hand. Shock darts rebounding. Cacophony of util. And John is left to pick up those pieces, see if he can forge a path to victory into this pistol, but he knows he's got a lot to do. Maybe able to cook up a kill or two. These players are hyper pushed up and pressured into the corners here, but, well, with that many bodies and a weaponry differential, it's almost inevitable.
Usually, you're going to see teams trying to dive to spike in that spot so that they don't feel...
Alvos, oh my goodness, he is in a very tight spot. Between a rock and a hard place. Some might say, still his team is willing to bail him out. Making sure they've got that gunplay happening, working. There's only 12 seconds left, and you've got to try and stick this at some point here to seize. Hard committed, and the gun's quite, they're just not there for Sen to turn up the tempo. Jonah P, did he make a sound cue here? He has to be potentially that knife in the back, but no. Reveals it early, just gets the one before the trade comes through. Leaf watching up and over the angle. Flash is not doing too much at all. Zekken, Shorty knocks him down. 4 bullets left. Unbelievable. Starts it down, dodges the flash. Shocks are flying forwards, but the Thorn's still dead anyway. That dart is inside the smoke. They are unaware of this, and here's that corner! And the collapse from Sentinels. Jorgamo knives out, just trying to bait that fight out. Still Jorgamo, how is he getting the one before the trade comes through? Shorty's out, and the players are just flooding their way back in. This is desperation from Sentinels. This time Jorgamo not lucky to survive. Leap hard committed off onto the corner. It's an aftershock at that. Trying to push them back and away. All being used here, and he just sees the shoulders peeking through on the sides of the smoke. Broken. Tight to the corner, not anticipated. John QT playing ahead of the curve when it comes to G2, seeing if they can at least make a way for it, but it's that rolling retreat that's being ordered for, and Zekken hitting. Still a lot to tangle, and still Valen with the 2, but Trent left alone now in a 1v. But TP's backs away, and that's, oh my, it's all going apart, isn't it, for G2? Dimensional Drift, the Hunter's Fury, any attempt to salvage this fight. But the tags, okay, landing in the end was Zekken cleaned up, and that's a plant. Still not committed, but Sentinels now going into the next wave of things here. Jumping down, Flash for to pick up the pieces. And these players off onto the flank. The dart is going to be dealt with, and now it's Trent who's been put under a bit of a squeeze. Has to offload that util just to see if he can buy some space and time, and even with that discipline of the Cosmic Divide, they know they have to play up onto the side, but G2 have got all their plays towards the backside of it. John needs one, and potentially even more! Calls for the collapse, and calls for the help of the rest of his team to put an end to what G2 way towards the sound cues, but they are just lining up for him. Up and above, onto heaven, maybe there's a timing to be taken, but the flashes are picture perfect. Everybody blinded up, what a wave of time is a flash as well. He wants to take that timing with plenty of shots, but just the composure, the aim, not the slightest of windows, and he capitalizes, jumps on it, pounces on it almost immediately, and a refight taken out towards A main. This is rapid, shock darts, trying to force him out.
Leaf. He's only got a classic to be able to work with here. Burned up pretty much all of his headhunter bullets, though he has 1 left if he wants to do something stylish.
It's damage done to Zelsis.
It should be Sen's round.
It should be. Steps forward! When that was the
spot just a moment ago.
And just that Jorgamo insert in through mid. Thriving in the chaos, a deep flash into the corner, and Array has no options whatsoever. Flawless from G2. Well navigated, flash dodged. And Leaf's still there, he's holding it down, out forwards, bang, creeping closer onto the side now, and he's applying pressure of his own. He's trying to get Sentinel straight back into this fight, but sidestepping. It's good movement. Leaf has been dealt with, he was cut up onto the side. There's still no plant here for G2. Time has been bought for these Sen players, and they are rapidly approaching. Hold on, there's a timing!
Oh, what a play.
Jordan was ahead of it. Drone at his feet, not worried about it. No defense inside, and with that heaven control, an extra difficulty. Fault line, 2 of them stunned up. In through the smoke as well, trying to take these timings, and they're fighting ahead of it. This is a difference. Sen trying to take it, a bit of argy-bargy onto the side. Jonah P just spots the top of the cranium, but not expecting the backstab. Narrate was there, ready with open arms. Repositions in through the smoke as well. He's cut up the ankles. They don't know where this guy is playing from. It's a pivot. Jorgamo's still trying to play this one forwards, but Lee finally takes that timing. Up to go straight through mid. Can't win the fight out though from those straggling players, and Sentinels have an opening, a window for them. Valen forced to get off that. Drop down onto the cliffside. Slide away! Drop down! And Trent has no choice but to just fire a last-ditch effort. Anything to survive this. John's found the kill. Second under the fuse, the slightest of taps, and Jonah B is nowhere near. Sweeping their way out through the smokes. A bit of ground's gonna be gained. Out through and wide. G2 running down these players. Laying down death from above. Still, Sentinels have managed to regain control of the side. It comes down to the spam straight down main. These players are toppling Sentinels. It looked like they had to work with. It's a quick cleanup indeed by Jonah P. The Thorns popped off as the flood attempt is occurring. Sentinels just trapped up in the brambles. No chance in hell to see if they can turn the tide of that fight.
I think G2...
Look at this read! It's the wall, I think, that was triggered. They got to know that there was something up on towards the flank. Something was smelling up, and it's on to Zekken! Layering down. That's suppressive fire indeed. Gets the one. Still alive, 56 health to work with. He's making his way. Buy some time for the rest of his team to get in. He could be the difference maker. 13 seconds, he needs to clear this guy up. He's got one for his troubles, but it's all answered. G2, lock and key is what he got to side under. Zelsis, these players out wide, and there's util in their hands. They're just left looking clueless. G2 in control. Looking
Try to get a little more info.
Didn't clear the box. They're worried about Sam at the same time, and here's the salvos. Oh, no, there's no gaps to play in. Tap with the Guardians in hand. Leave it just down to Trent, though. It's a 1v2 and offline.
G2 have got the read.
Yeah. And planting are potentially, I'm not too sure when the salva's coming online, but Jordan was already there. Just been using to see if they can push this one back to 6 seconds left. And winnable. Dodges the flash, and now he knows it, at least expects it. One player, at least in domain, sees the barrel. Can't win the fight. The momentum just make it that much more doable. Valorant does eventually get removed away from the side here. The bullets are firing. Sentinels. A lot of creeping forwards, he's just spotted it. Just the shoulder. Fault line, it's instantaneous. It's rapid. These players are dwindling. They are toppling. G2. It's almost there. It's within their grasp. Damage done. He was whittled down to just double digits, and it was enough at the end of the day. But Zekken has granted him at least easy access, potentially over towards C. He might have just seen it, meant it, covering it, obfuscating it. It's 3 in a row for G2. The problem of at least one of these areas of the map, and bullets are flying forwards. It doesn't matter. The player advantage that G2 have earned up more than enough to sail their way to victory in a 4th round now.
If you're looking for the cope for Sentinels here,
Wouldn't be necessary, but he is going to spot out these players, and hello, combo it up. Yep, take it into the gulag. Good luck winning it, and Trent somehow manages it. There's a shield to contest with. Still there, gets one. Sound cue from the shield. He only gets the one. And every smoke, every option is watched for. Right now, Senna just throwing anything at the wall, seeing what sticks with these lurk plays. TP, committed Leaf is one. And quick reactions from Zelsis. Make sure to watch that angle, but damage done to Bang. Wrapping around by Leaf. It's all about this timing, and they are doubled up towards short. Doubled up for 2 now. Start swarming, getting into position for this one. Forwards, double taking, just trying to get ahead of the curve as well as his setup occurs. Blind as anything, Valin. He's just running rings around him, but Zekken left to try and control the situation. But it's too much for even him. 9-3.
Jumping into that just to try to deny Jonah P the kill, because they do not want a Rolling Thunder available for the bonus. They're fine dying to Trent. So Sen have now got to get themselves into a spot where they can...
He's going to need a little bit more. Dart revealing, bit of spam potential, but still they're going to try and take this one together! And the jumping right clicks. They save them for now.
That is what they needed. A John Cutie miracle. 11-4.
Rebounding round the back and spam into the smoke. They got to know and expect it, yeah. So, conventional drift was essentially able to make that one just a walk in the park themselves. Sen takes space though, not from Sen. I believe they're going to get stalled out, and they are. Slow down, re-clearance out into garage. Might just come down to these fights that are taken. Dart rebounds. Zekken was almost alone when he's taking that one. And these players are falling. Sen to do a lot here. Clearing the way forwards. Chocomo is low. The dash, sidestepped. Valen's there. Still forcing them back in the Thorns. Sound cues are given off to G2.
And then round 23, see if you can lock things up. But for Sentinels, they've got to be perfect, and that just isn't.
It's a missed opportunity at that. Bit of spam coming through onto either side of this one. The shield is immediately gone. Okay, you're pulled into my world now, and Ray wants to take this fight straight to them. Okay, rewarded. Shield online. Waits until the final moment. It's an aftershock as they were trying to predict that. A new one. And now Sentinels left to do with just 3 left standing. A player disadvantage. Here's the retake coming through. The blinds are good, but the kills need to be better. And G2 will not be denied. It's a death knell tolls. And for Sentinels themselves, it all lands on the shoulders of Bang. One to be fine, but two more left standing. G2.
Not ready yet.
They've been tested, they've been pushed, but a util just makes it almost impossible. TP forwards, 11. You're America's kickoff champion!